Guy, this is insane.
Yeah, that was me. I was really excited. But we'll get to the more exciting part later. Okay, so when I first started at the pond, I noticed other geese eating here. It looked like they were like grazing and hanging out, so, good for them. And then I saw my family of geese going down to the pond. And if you look, she too has her head leaned down to where she wants them to go. And oh, heron flew by. And yes, you may be thinking, what in the world is this guy talking about? Come on, that's not a heron. Like, dude, herons are way bigger than that. Well, believe it or not, it actually is. It's the smallest heron, the least bittern. I'll explain more about that bird in a different video. Anyways, so they kept on eating, they were resting, lying down a little. It was raining, so there wasn't much of anything to do. And then I noticed this family of 6 goslings eating in the grass. And then they crossed the road and went to a different feeding spot. Notice how the male here has his head curled down, leading the goslings to where he wants them to go. That is so cool. A little while later, I noticed them relaxing on the ground. The goslings were doing different things, but I noticed how the male was sleeping. Yeah, like he was sleeping. He wasn't doing a good job keeping an eye on things, so do better next time. Maybe he was just tired. I don't know. We'll give him mercy this time. And then I went back and I noticed that this family was basically doing the same thing, just resting, relaxing. The mother was doing some preening, so that was pretty cool. A little while later, she lay down to keep the goslings out of the rain, so that was nice of her. And then for another 10 to 15 minutes, she was doing the same thing, lying down, keeping them dry, and she was preening herself, so pretty cool. The male was doing the same thing, just preening, relaxing, basically that kind of stuff. It was kind of quiet out, but it was nice. It was raining, so had a nice peaceful effect. And then those same geese that I saw earlier feeding started to make their way down to the pond, which was pretty awesome. And then this pair over on the left is the pair that I mentioned in the last video, saying how they were kind of like, pestering the family with the goslings and being kind of mean to them. They were the ones that were nesting here first, but for some reason they stopped. So then they were in the water just hanging out, splashing all around. I heard somewhere that geese like the rain apparently, so that's kind of cool. It makes sense, obviously. And then I look back on these guys, and she was basically doing the same thing as earlier, just, relaxing, preening. The babies were under her. I don't know if you could see them, but they're under her left wing. So she kept doing this for a little while. The male was doing the same thing. And then they decided it was time to leave. So they crossed the road and went into a nearby paddock, and they were just like feeding there and, doing the same thing. So I decided to check on the other family and see how they were doing. And they were doing the same thing, just basically relaxing, laying down. The male was preening, and oh, there he is now. Yawned. Yep, yawned again. And the goslings were just like laying down and relaxing. And then I realized something. The two families with the goslings were gone. They had completely disappeared. I do not know where they were. I looked, but I didn't see them. After running around for a bit, I finally noticed where they were. Yes, they were in a paddock eating, and I don't know what they were eating. They may have just been like walking around. There may have also been like food inside that tire in there. I don't know. But they walked around for a while, and then they walked up and they were eating some of the grass that was nearby. So that was cool. And then I noticed the other family, and they were all the way down there. They were basically doing the same thing, just walking all around, eating the grass that was near where they were. So then, after a little while, both the families came back down to where they were again. And this family here just basically was doing the same thing, just eating grass and doing that kind of stuff. The 3 goslings in the back were the same goslings for the other family. They ran back to their parents there, but they were behind the bushes. It was kind of hard to see them. And while I'm talking, I'll just show you guys some of the photos that I ended up getting while I was there. So, hope you enjoy. So, I rode around there for a little while and then decided it was time to leave because it was raining and boy was I cold. I was, yeah, freezing. So, I decided to go home and, yeah, but it ended up being a really, really nice time and I'm so glad that I went because I was able to see that other family of goslings, which was really cool. So that will be the end of this video, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.